Eastern Europe when the EU wants to suck Eastern Europe dry and exploit it. And they're going after us. The globalists are going after our infrastructure, our jobs, our families. The globalists are moving on every front right now. This is a very historical time to be alive, and everything they do is basically bad. You can debate within the spectrum who's right, who's wrong, and the politics of any given issue. But you have to pull back from Republican and Democratic rhetoric and actually look at who the special interests are and what they want. And the larger agenda is for global governance, autocratic totalitarianism, attacking every institution, the family, the church, you name it. Not that the church is even good. It's been government run for a long time, but all institutions are to not just be overtaken, they are to be pulled down so that no competing system can exist. Monetary, it doesn't matter. It's the opposite of diversity, the opposite of choices. And through the Democratic Party right now, we see the vanguard of the movement. Class warfare, race warfare, social division, man against woman, old against young, death panels, veterans being kicked off health care, put on death lists to not be given care. On record. And the media calls it a screw-up. It's not a screw-up, it's a policy. It's not a screw-up on the border, like Rick Perry says about Obama. It's a deliberate policy. People ask why I praise Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. They're the only ones that will say it's deliberate, because it is. The Border Patrol says it's deliberate and shows proof. We go down to the border and show proof. We have the facts. We're nothing special. Anybody can say 2 + 2 = 4. Anybody can try to be decent. There is no debating this. There is no choice. You either join with the evil and be a schmuck, be a chump, be a sucker, be a mark, be a mind control cult member, or you decide that you're going to resist what's happening. It's in your own best interest. It's in all our best interest to say no to all of this. Now, folks, there's a lot of news here. And if we do a document cam shot, I can show folks the stacks here. We've got the InfoWars stack of news, world news, science and tech, politics, economy, U.S. news, Russia, Ukraine, border crisis. This is all news we've been working on and researching since last night, right through to this morning. And I'm going to try to get into all of this important news. But if you pull back from all of this, what is the tie that binds it? What is the connecting strand? It is the globalists on record that are engineering and steering this whole situation, and they are our enemies. They have made a conscious decision to wreck civilization, to consolidate power, to dumb populations down, to poison populations with propaganda and with physical toxins. This is a psychotronic, positronic, technotronic system of total domination. And I don't tell you that to demoralize you and to make you scared. I believe you have courage. I believe that when faced with the real adversity, you will mobilize against it. So many cowards out there in the system misinterpret this radio broadcast. And they wrongfully think that I'm fear-mongering up here. If I wake up at 2 a.m. because I smell smoke and the dogs are barking, and the neighbor's house across the street on the hill has fire shooting out of it, it is not fear-mongering to call the fire department, to dial 911. It's a course of action to ensure that I'm rendering aid. I'm going to grab my binoculars next, and if I see it looks like people need help, I'm going to go climb their fence, and I'm going to go and render aid. Not because I'm a hero, not because I'm a busybody, but because that's what I do. That's what my ancestors did, and I expect you to come to my aid. This is about mutual goodwill. And it's about seeing that we're in a propagandized system of fraud and rejecting it. Because, look, you either reject the whole thing or you can't beat it. You can sit there and pick it apart all day. We know it's a fraud. We need to break with it. The border crisis in focus straight ahead.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day. Unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. In the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at MadeIn1776.com. The already discounted Made in 1776 t-shirts are only $17.76. We have the new belt buckles that in only 2 weeks of sale are very close to selling out. There's only 500 of each. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in nickeled brass. This is more than a summer blowout special. This is a new declaration of independence. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv for a limited time, only $39.95 a year. That's more than 5 months free off the regular price. Not just this July 4th weekend, but the entire month of July at MadeIn1776.com. Molon Labe, you can take my gun from my cold, dead hands.
Question: could too many GMO foods and toxins be overloading your digestive and immune systems? Answer: yes. If you're searching for a powerful detox that's gentle enough to use every day, use Pro-EM1 from Teraganix. Pro-EM1 is a powerful liquid probiotic that uses good bacteria to suppress pathogens and gently eliminate toxins from your body. A healthy digestive system will cleanse and remove toxins, support weight loss, improve absorption of food nutrients, and aid in controlling yeast and other infections. Pro-EM1 is made with only non-GMO and certified organic ingredients, has no preservatives, and is dairy, soy, wheat, and gluten-free. Pro-EM1 is the key to your digestive health. Order Pro-EM1 Daily Probiotic Cleanse at Teraganix.com, spelled Teraganix.com, or call toll-free 866-369-3678. That's 866-369-3678. Also available through Amazon Prime. Pro-EM1 from Teraganix. Life's getting better.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Do you ever feel like you live in an alternate universe? As the stock market hits new highs, the middle class are dying. Manipulated financial markets and economic figures, chaos on our border, China and Russia bypassing the dollar. Life is getting ready to change. You need to prepare to thrive in the new economy. Go to babyboomerbackupplan.com or call 888-507-8789. That's 888-507-8789.
Top story on DrudgeReport.com. Boner rules out impeachment. John Boehner. And again, I want to open the phones up in the next segment to ask you the question. I understand what Pat Buchanan's saying. I know Pat Buchanan personally. Worked on his campaign 3 different times. I respect Pat Buchanan. He's a good paleo-conservative, libertarian, constitutionalist. He says don't impeach Obama. Let libertarian Republicans take over the Republican primaries, which they're doing. Let them get into the state and congressional federal level. But the problem is Obama could start new wars during the next 2 years. He could stage a false flag and basically stay in office indefinitely, or put a permanent bureaucracy in place via Homeland Security that transcends his administration and is a bureaucratic dictatorship. The economy could completely implode under Obama, and he could set the course for socialism and expanded taxation and government control. You see how he's already imploded the border extrajudicially, extra-legislatively, and is saying he's set to sign executive orders to restrict the Second Amendment and to legalize illegals outside of his congressional request. He's not going to Congress to get a law passed or even an authorization. He's just doing it as a fiat dictator. Not as a dictator who will be permanent and stay in office, but as an operating dictator for all intents and purposes. And more congressmen and senators are now saying that, because that's what's happening. If we got a dictator, would we notice? Not since Lincoln have we seen a president operate like this outside of Congress. And that was the Civil War last time. And notice he's been billed by the Democrats when he first ran back in 2007, 2008, as the second coming of Lincoln. He would crush the bitter clingers that clung to their Bibles and their guns. And so Boehner has come out, the Washington Times is reporting, as he did a month ago, and he has ruled out impeachment. He says it's a scam started by Democrats. And I agree that it is a scam going on for several years by the Democrats to say impeachment is imminent. We need to raise money for him right now, or he will reverse, the Republicans in impeachment will reverse the wonders of Obamacare, and they will reverse the wonders of everything else that's been done. The wondrous death panels, the wondrous losing your doctor and having your health plan go up in price, and the wondrous payroll tax on poor people, and the wondrous open borders, and the wondrous putting our military under UN control, and the wondrous Common Core teaching 2 + 2 = 5, and the wondrous Black Plague, and tuberculosis, and flesh-eating bacteria, and mites, and pinworms, and just everything spreading across the country right now as we collapse into a third world nation. The wondrous liver flukes showing up in Californian water supplies that were formerly not even in Central America. They were in South America. And so you can look at that and say, do you play politics and hope a bunch of libertarians get elected, which is starting to happen, and then reverse everything that the Democrats with their Republican blue blood neocon cohorts have engaged in? Do you let Obama keep operating for another 2 years when every week he tops his last outrage? My gut tells me absolutely not. You don't play politics with us. We've done this too long. He will pardon himself. He will pardon everybody else around him. Impeachment, removing him from office, is the only thing that stops him from being able to do that. And you send a message to the political criminal class that the games are over. And then you use that impeachment process to empower the states to create a new coalition of states to organize and to elect pro-Constitution, pro-liberty, American Restoration, emergency party people. I mean, you call it the emergency party. And if Democrats want to join it, that's fine. We've got to right the country. We don't want to wreck it and scuttle it under Cloward and Piven and Agenda 21 so they can take over. We don't want to go to a conquest government, a total collapse government, people standing in line for their welfare like the old Soviet Union. That's the model of state control they admit they're going for. And if the political class isn't scared into submission, they're going to go ahead with it, which you see them doing now. I want to get your take on this. Do we impeach or do we not impeach? 800-259-9231. First-time callers, 800-259-9231. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The